Hey legends, what an episode we have for you today. We are back. Mac Andrew from the Gold Coast Sun joins us. This is such an incredible episode. Mac doesn't do a lot of media, but he's arguably one of my favourite players in the AFL. He goes forward, he plays down back, and he's elite at both ends. He's also got one of the biggest contracts in AFL history, kept his feet on the ground. He's a humble guy, as you'll hear in this show. But we go through his game winner against Essendon, how he settled his nerves and kicked an incredible goal, what he's building up at the Gold Coast, why he committed for such a long time to that footy club and to that state, and working with Damien Hardwick, one of the legends of the game. Mac Andrew is an incredible human, guys. This was such a great episode. So much in this for all the footy fans as we talk through the hopes of the rise of the Gold Coast Suns. Let's get into it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Another episode of the Unlaced podcast. As I always say, if you are new here, thank you for turning up. And if you've come back again, I absolutely love you. If you are listening on Spotify and you've listened to this show before and you haven't given us 5 stars, come on, man. Like, what are you doing? Please give us some love. It's how the algorithms work. It's how we're growing. And we've got a big end to the year. I mean, we have a massive guest today. Massive in stature, massive in height, and just a massive name around the AFL. He's my Southeast brother. Without further ado, Mac Andrew from the Gold Coast Suns.
No, thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
Bro, can't believe you're here, man. What a year, bro. What a year you've had. You've just had some operations and stuff done, I guess, after the season. Yeah. So what's going on there?
Snapped my tendon in my finger. I think I did it halfway through the year against Collingwood.
Damn.
It annoyed me a little bit in the back half of the year, but yeah, got a couple of operations on that and just ready for a big preseason, hopefully a big year next year.
I spoke to Clayton Oliver was in here a couple of weeks ago and he was like, same thing, man, just like mid-season injury, then operation at the end. It's like a normal thing. Yeah,
it's annoying. I think if you can play with it, then just may as well keep going.
Did it hurt at all, like hinder you, or was it like when you're out there you just don't think of it?
Yeah, our first 3 games, it was a bit annoying and like affected my marking and stuff, so we just started jabbing it up for the last 6 or so games, so didn't really feel it for those games, but
I bet. Well, how are you, bro, overall? Like, how body? I mean, I know you're so young still, but still play a lot of footy, especially up in Gold Coast. It's like it's a different climate as well. Your body must be due for a bit of a rest and relax.
Yeah, no, it's good. Body feels good. Pretty healthy at the moment, obviously, besides my finger. So, no, it's good up there. You got access to the beach and stuff, so it's easy to do recovery, and it's always good weather.
You acting like you go in the beach, do you? Hey, don't listen to that, people at home.
No, I'm just saying for anybody else. But,
what do you got in the pool?
Yeah, jump in the pool somewhere I can, some of my feet can touch the bottom.
Hey, we will touch on the Gold Coast, obviously, but mate, this is like, I'm starting to get worried about my age because you were born in 2003. I was born in 1993, bro. I swear yesterday it felt like I was 21, which is like crazy. Or what are you, 21 now or 20?
Turned 21 in December.
Turned 21. So you're 20 years old, man. That is crazy, bro. I mean, you got the world at your feet. How have you, I guess we'll go into some of the reasons why there's so much noise around your name, but how have you been sort of handling all of that and keeping focused on what you've actually got to do?
Pretty easy, to be fair. I think especially up in the Gold Coast, it's easy to kind of switch off away from footy. Obviously, it's a big NRL state, so you can just kind of go about your business and nobody asks you questions and nobody knows who you are, which is good.
Really? No one knows. Surely people know who you are up there now.
A little bit, but you don't really get bothered as much as some of the big names were down here. So it's pretty good. We're out of the spotlight a little bit, so it's pretty easy to relax and just kind of switch off from footy, which I think is a big bonus, from living up there.
Do you get more recognised in Melbourne, in a sense? Or like the AFL states as such, South Australia's, Western Australia's and stuff like that when you go visit?
Yeah, I reckon it's a lot different down here. Yeah. Up here, up in Gold Coast, they might recognise you a little bit, but they wouldn't really come up and bother you.
Yeah.
Whereas down here, I feel like they're really in your face a little bit, which I don't really like. I kind of like my personal space and stuff. So, but yeah, no, it's good up there. I love living up there, and made a good life for myself up there, and it's where I call home now. So,
well, as I told you before off air, my first ever soccer contract, A-League contract, was for Gold Coast United, who we had a bit of a crazy owner, and they got rid of the club, so I had to move. But when I was up there, it was the only time I ever started watching NRL.
Yeah, same.
Because I was like Origin, I was like Queenslander, and I was like, now I kind of understand the game way more, but I would never have given it the time of day if I didn't live there.
Yeah.
But it's people just live and breathe it up there, eh?
Yeah, I never watched the game until I moved up there.
Yeah.
I remember I went to the Origin game 3 this year, and I reckon probably the best sporting event I've been to.
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Was it at Suncorp?
Yeah, Suncorp. The atmosphere up there was crazy.
Whoa.
Me and my boy Ace went up there, and the streets are just full of just like, Queenslanders. And remember Ace was his only fella wearing New South Wales.
Oh, no way. He standing out.
He was getting abused. And I went up to one of the little shops and just bought a Queensland scarf.
Yeah, blended.
But no, I didn't really watch NRL until I moved up there, so really starting to follow the Titans a little bit and a little bit, with their journey. Which is pretty cool. So, but yeah, I didn't really like it, and then now I really enjoy probably watching more than footy, to be fair.
Well, don't you reckon as well with Origin, when I was watching it, particularly feeling the Queensland energy, I'm like, that's a whole wave of pressure too.
Yeah.
Like, you guys have pressure, definitely, but that pressure's like a whole state's like waiting on the result.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember when they're announcing just all the names, like all the cheers that the Queenslanders would get and all the boos that New South Wales players would get, but they ended up losing as well, so it's pretty quiet in the stadium.
Yeah, that's right, man. That was huge, wasn't it? New South Wales, yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was a good experience, and definitely probably going to go again next year, so.
Yeah, for sure.
I
said this to you before joking, but I can't believe how tall you are. I mean, I knew you were tall, but what are you, 6?
Yeah, 6'8", I think.
6'8".
I think I've grown 3 or 4 centimetres since I got drafted, yeah.
Really?
I wasn't always the tallest, growing up. Used to play, wing and a little bit inside mid growing up, and then I just kind of had a big growth spurt, so.
Well, that's why I say, I mean, obviously people know you were tall, and I knew you were tall, but it was more because of how you move.
Yeah.
Like, you move like a short guy in a sense as well. You've got that sort of agility and athleticism, and even when the ball's on the ground, it's like, so when I saw actually how tall you were, I was like, mate, you've got a bit of superhuman ability with you.
Yeah, no, I kind of had a big growth spurt, so I feel like I can kind of play below the ground and above the air as well. So just kind of use it as a bonus and use it as one of my strengths.
Do we tell people that you think you could have gone to the league, NBA? Mac Andrew was a basketball, everyone, which is no surprise, but you had some skill in that.
Yeah, no, I was all right. I'll try to believe I could have gone. I don't know. Probably not, but it's really hard to get into. But
how old did you play that up until?
No, probably only until I was 16.
16. That's still like when most people, like Jamara spoke about that. He played up like a decent level until around that age or whatever.
No, you just call myself Easy Money Mac. Katie was my favourite player. So.
I love that.
But no, I really, really loved basketball growing up, and probably still played now a little bit. Go out, play 3-on-3 and stuff with a few of the boys. So. Do you watch like any specific team or players that you gather some inspiration off? Because I find there's that cross-code sport, even with music to a sense, like always that kind of vibe. That I really love KD.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he's a bit of like a silent assassin, but
yeah.
Anthony Edwards I really love as well.
Bro, what a dog.
Just the way he plays, just how confident he is.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a pretty confident kid as well, so he's one I really like to follow as well. So yeah, probably those two.
Have you started watching Starting Five at all?
Yeah, I watched that as well.
Bro, Anthony Edwards did that.
Funny.
He's just a beast, eh? He literally tells people like, man, I'm just too good for you, like on the court.
He's good. Yeah, I love the way he goes about it. And I feel like me, I've always been pretty confident growing up as well. And having older brothers, I've always wanted to be better than them and, wanted to be the best in whatever it is I'm doing. So, I feel like he's a bit the same. So, so I really like watching him.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we got our own Anthony Edwards in the league, Mac Andrew, that's for sure. I actually want to just mention your family, but I want to go into like your culture and your background because what I learned coming into this podcast, you were born in Egypt. So you're the first or the only Egyptian-born player to play in the AFL, which I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that was a statistic, but just to understand, because you mentioned you got brothers or quite a big family, which I actually saw on draft night, like all your families together, which was incredible. Yeah, 1 of 7, right? Yeah. So can you just tell us about being sort of born in Egypt, coming to Australia, the family you've got, the size of it and all of that? Yeah,
so 1 of 7. I'm the third oldest. So when I did get drafted, I'm probably happy to get me out of the house, a bit more space. But my parents fled to South Sudan in 2000 and had my older brother in Egypt, and then had myself in Egypt as well. And then we come over here in 2004. So they sacrificed a lot for me to be in the position I am in now, and forever grateful and forever in debt for everything they've done and what they've had to go through to not only give them but me and my brothers a better life as well. So
Do you know much about South Sudanese culture at all?
No, probably not as much as I'd like, and probably still trying to learn a little bit more about it, and still just trying to ask a lot of questions about what goes on over there and how life was growing up for them, and which they tell me a little bit about, but still don't really know too much about it. And, something I'd really like to just find out a lot more about and how they grew up in their culture, and just what life was like for them.
Yeah. Well, we have such a big, reason why I asked, we have such a big Sudanese population in Australia or in Melbourne even as well, obviously. And one of my Sudanese mates was telling me like the amount of tribes that are within like the one country.
Yeah.
Like everyone's kind of from a tribe as such. And he was like, I don't know the exact number, so I may get it wrong, so don't shoot me. But it was like between like, I don't know, 60 and 100 different tribes in the same place.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And everyone's got their own little dialects and ways about, how they do things.
Yeah, each tribe's different. I'm from the Dinka tribe, so...
Dinka tribe, okay.
Every tribe's different. They all have their own language and their own, just their own ways to do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking to like a lot of the Indigenous boys because, we have heaps at our club, and I think it's pretty similar to them. Like they've all got their own tribes and their own way to go about it. And it's pretty similar, like similarities, pretty crazy.
Yeah, so do you know... like, obviously, your parents are so brave to be doing what they're doing, but then coming to Australia, like, you've obviously grown up here, so you don't know any better.
Yeah.
So you're as Australian as anybody. But for them, was it a big culture shock coming here, or was that difficult for them initially, especially with so many kids, I imagine?
Yeah, initially, when my parents first come up, they moved into a house with my cousins as well who'd come up as well. So there would have been a lot of people in there. But just, they're coming from a whole different country, non-English speaking background, and just had to learn, just learn English and just learn how everything works here. They come from a third world country to a country like Australia. Just could only imagine what, the shocks and how different everything would have been for them.
Yeah. What's great, what's awesome to me now is how many Australian African footballers play in the AFL. And like always the athleticism was always going to be a standout sort of feature. But like for you, when you were growing up watching, who were sort of some of your role models? Because now when I look at the AFL teams, I'm like, there's just so much talent around the league and so many role models for, I guess, young Australian Africans to look up to, or even, Indigenous players to look up to, coloured people to look up to.
My favourite growing up was Nick Nat. I really...
Oh, bro,
really
what a
him.
guy.
Yeah, him. Then even just like Magic Doran, seeing what he did and, how he paved the way for, all us Sudanese kids. He's definitely one I really looked up to. And then you see guys like Lumumba and Joe Wilkinson, who was up at the Gold Coast as well.
Yeah.
And just guys like that who, really, they probably went through a lot throughout their career with a lot of racism stuff. But just seeing the way that they went about it and, the impact they have and just how strong they were in standing up for, what they believe in as well. So I think that made a big impact on me. And then guys like, CJ and Marbia Troll and
superstars.
I could name heaps of them.
That's what I was just going. This so
I was only at school a couple of years ago and watching them play. So
now you're taking hangers on them.
But it's pretty crazy. Yeah, there's heaps of them. Hopefully now I'm in a position to do the same for the next generation that are coming through.
Do you feel like that, or even though you're kind of like the young guy that's come in with the impact you've made? I think you've played like 41 games or something of that nature. But like, do you feel like you've already become this role model? I think when I DM'd you, I was like, bro, you're a role model now. But it's like, it's almost like you've just kind of just begun as well.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy because, I still got guys that I look up to. So
I bet.
It feels weird to know, kids look up to me. But it's, every time, but even just like when you go around the stadium after a game and you just hear kids screaming and stuff like that, it's pretty surreal. And, to know that, people do look up to you, it's a pretty crazy feeling.
Yeah. I was at, is it Metricon? Yeah, I was at Metricon.
People First Stadium now or something.
Yeah, People First. Yeah, I thought it changed names. So I was at Metricon I went up and watched Collingwood. One of the best games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, the game where I don't know how you guys won. Because it was like, you guys were winning, and then Collingwood just like, Dacos and Geordie just exploded.
Yeah.
They had an incredible...
One kick from the boundary, I think,
Geordie from the boundary, and then like Dakes had almost like a goal a year. There's Candy selling. But then you guys, like, mate, it was one of the most heroic performances. And people know I love Collingwood, but I was like, bro, the Suns are a real-ass team.
Yeah.
Like, you guys, the way you won that, and Collingwood probably at that point of the year was probably the only time they've really been somewhat full strength or close to.
Yeah.
And you guys beat them, and they were the reigning premiers.
Yeah, we made a bit of a fortress up there. I think we only lost 1 or 2 games up there. So
what is that? Why is that too?
I don't know. I think I don't know. We just play a lot better at home in front of the fans and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game, it was pretty crazy. Because I think Longy kicked a goal to
it was Ben
up,
Long. Yeah,
Benny Ainsworth
he kicked a couple. Yeah, he kicked a couple. Benny Long.
Yeah, well, we always knew Collingwood were going to come back. They always do it. I don't know how, but they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we were kind of prepared for it, and then I never really thought we were going to lose. To be fair, I know when they were coming, I kind of seen Noah's face in the middle, and I think I'd got like 3 or something clearances in a row.
Right.
I remember looking at him, and I was like, nah, this bloke's going to help us win the game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was a good game. Yeah, it was crazy. Probably one of my favourite games I played in.
Yeah.
Because I remember last year we played him same time and smashed us by 60-odd points or something like that.
Yeah. Well, you would love the fact that, right, so the couple of reasons why I bring that up is that was where, like, just people, I could see the kids around the stadium, how in awe they are of you, how much they loved you. And then also, I mean, like, the Gold Coast fans, they stuck through some shit that game because the Collingwood were getting up, and you know Collingwood fans, so if they're winning, they'll let you know.
Yeah.
And then as they're walking out, obviously the Gold Coast fans started chirping back because they had the last laugh.
Nah, it's good. I went up my brothers a little bit because they're both Collingwood supporters.
Are they really? Oh, no.
So yeah, they were talking a bit of shit before that, so yeah, to win it was good.
Yeah.
That was the only reason I wanted to win. And then my other brother goes for Geelong, and we pumped him up in Darwin. So
How the family all go for different teams? What, they just connected to different clubs for whatever
I was a
reason?
big Geelong supporter growing up as well.
Wait, why Geelong? Did you grow up at Geelong?
Nah, my brother, he went for Geelong, and
good team to go for.
I was like 5 or 6, and I was like, yeah, I want to go for that team as well. So
there you go.
Yeah, so I really love Geelong, and Joel Selwood's another guy I really looked up to. I really loved the way he went about it, and obviously guys like Gary Ablett and Tom Hawkins. Still remember how happy I was when Jeremy Cameron come across, I think, 2019 or 2020.
Yeah. Damn, so you really were a fan all the way up until probably you got put a Suns jersey on you.
Yeah, until we got drafted 2021.
2021, yeah.
Yeah, up until then, I remember, I think we lost the grand final that year. Oh, no, 2020, they lost.
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
Richmond.
Yeah, that's right.
So, no, I really loved the Cats, yeah.
So was Selwood your sort of favourite player growing up? Did you have a specific favourite player?
Yeah, Selwood. He was the main one. Really loved Stevie J. As well.
You like the small players, and you're 6'7".
The guys that kick the goals. Pretty funny. I remember played Geelong. I think it was my second game, and I remember they were coming at me pretty hard, and I was like, I used to idolise you guys.
Oh, no way.
Remember Joel Selwood's like, who even are you? And I was like,
oh, no way.
It's a bit crazy.
That's a bit crazy. Yeah, relax, bro. You're on my wall, bro.
Yeah, pretty well. I got your jersey in my wardrobe back home.
Did you like? We gotta go into that. So was there, like, from a Geelong standpoint, were you guys winning, or were you talking shit, or were you?
No, I wasn't talking. It was my second game ever. I wasn't.
Oh, so they were just getting like true vets. They were just getting into the rookies.
It was a fair few of them. Tommy Stewart, who I really loved as well.
Oh, bro.
There was a fair few of them. I think they were just going at a lot of us younger players.
Yeah.
But yeah, I tried to kind of stand up for myself, but
that
didn't work.
Didn't work, nah.
And I think we lost that game by 80 or something, so yeah.
I'm not going to lie, man. That I can still see in Mac's eyes, that still hurts you, bro. Yeah. Joel Selwood, I feel like Joel Selwood would not like to know that as well. Yeah, I feel like he'd probably want to be like in your corner now.
Something I'll never forget, so remember it till I'll take it to the grave with me.
When I lived up in the Gold Coast, that was like Gary Ablett's reign, like up there. Like he was kind of doing things that were unique to maybe most AFL players, like his diet. He was eating like raw broccoli on the bus going to games, and he was having like 40 touches every week. This was like peak Gary Ablett. Yeah. And Gold Coast were probably getting beaten quite a bit back then. But had any like Gary Ablett stories, or like some of those like past player stories kind of fed down of how he was?
I heard he used to like go out and train in his runners and just like tear it up, and everyone's in boots, and he's like just running circles around people. But no, besides that, I just used to hear like how much of a shock it was to everyone else, because you come in and it's a bunch of 18-year-olds, I think, at the time, and he's just like this ultimate professional, and everyone's like, what the heck's this bloke doing? But yeah, I think if it worked for him, then it worked. But no, I haven't really heard too many stories about him. would like to know more about him. But yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm sure he'll somehow be connected to the club always. But from a footy standpoint, we know that obviously basketball was I guess an angle or an option. But when was it like clear to you that footy was something that you loved and wanted to pursue it? Obviously, in your own self, that you had the ability to be a player that was going to be a top 5 draft pick.
Yeah, probably not until my top age year, to be fair. We had my bottom age year wiped with COVID, so didn't play any footy then. And then, made the Stingray squad and played the first 3 games, and then got a call from the AFL Academy coach, and he was like, "Oh, how would you like to play in the academy this weekend?" And I was like, yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I didn't really know what it was at the time, to be fair.
What is it for those that don't know what it is?
Yeah, it's like the best under 18 kids from Australia come, and play in one team, and I think that we take on a VFL side.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty crazy. Just the way it all happened, and my roommate actually at the time was Ned Moyle, who's now my teammate. So,
there you go.
Me and him got added in the same day. So yeah, got added into that, and then off the back of that, they said, you're going to play Vic Country this year, and I wasn't even in the Vic Country hub at the start of the year. So just kind of took off from there, and then just kept playing good, and I was like, this could actually happen for me this year, and I was just kind of hoping I'd play good enough for Melbourne to take me, because I was a part of their Next Generation Academy.
Well, I've had a few Melbourne fans reach out to me in between posting that. They're like, "Man, what can you speak to about why he didn't the Melbourne situation never happened or whatever like that?" But I didn't actually know that.
So I was in their academy from probably when I was 13, 14.
Damn, Melbourne.
And I'd train with them in school holidays and stuff. We do training camps and stuff like that, which was pretty cool. And then my top age year, I got to go and train with them for a couple of days, which was pretty cool, and just see what the day in the life of AFL play looks like. Which is pretty cool, and I was grateful for the experience they gave me, and I was just kind of hoping I played good enough for them to take me, because I think it was, if you're outside the top 40, then you were eligible to go to your Next Generation Academy club,
right?
And I didn't really see myself going too high at that stage of the year, and then just kept playing good, and the rest is history, I guess.
Well, what's crazy is I actually watched. So even though I've got my Collingwood allegiance because I got so many mates that play there, I actually grew up going for St Kilda.
Yeah,
and we had a mock draft. There was a mock draft for your draft year. And I don't know what number St Kilda was, but I feel like you were 10 or 11 in the mock draft.
Yeah.
And St Kilda might have been around that number. And I was like, that's why I actually looked into you, because I was like, we're going to get a guy called Mac Andrew, who's just, I could see was just jumping on people's heads and bouncing around kind of halfback and centre halfback and so forth. And then I remember, obviously on the draft night, it's pick 5 to Gold Coast. And I was like, damn, it's got rocketed up, which kind of made sense, because you tick so many boxes of what people look for with, from an athleticism standpoint and height and blah, blah, blah. But how did that actually eventuate? Did you know Gold Coast were always keen on you?
Yeah, I knew. I think probably a couple of days out, I knew it was between Gold Coast and Giants.
Right.
So I think Giants had the pick before Gold Coast.
Okay.
But I kind of knew it was between one of those two teams, and I think the draft was on a Wednesday, and I had a meeting with the Suns on the Monday or the Tuesday. And they didn't really say they were going to take me, but they kind of just said, they were kind of asking a lot of questions about whether I'd be keen on moving up and how my family would be coming up and stuff like that. And I was like, they might take me with this pick. And then obviously on draft night, when you're about to get drafted, all the cameras come to your table and stuff. So when Gold Coast were on the board, I think they bid on day costs, and then straight after that, all the cameras come, and I think my manager sent me a text with the Suns emojis.
No way.
I didn't see it until after, but I was like, oh.
It's literally like the NBA, just before you get called out, you're finding out type thing.
So it was a great feeling. I think looking back, I wish I probably embraced it a little bit more. I feel like it almost got to a point where I knew it was going to happen, so I was just kind of waiting for it to happen, but I didn't really embrace the moment as much as I really could have. So that's probably the only one thing I regret about it.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's a good way to look back on it. that actually just in itself, just thinking about it, your family's fled from South Sudan. You've been born in Egypt. They've come to Australia. Then they've got a son that's gone top 5 draft pick in the AFL. Like for them, that must have been equally as big for you as it was for them.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Mum, she didn't really know too much about footy growing up. She really loves it now. She's at all the games all the time now with my brothers and my family, and she's bringing all my aunties and all my cousins and stuff. So,
which would be a lot of people, by the way.
I tried to get 40 passes one time, and the club were like, "Oh, can we get them back?" And I was like, "Oh, I think they might need them back for the next home game, for the next game in Melbourne."
Yeah.
I was scrambling for tickets, asking all the boys for tickets every time we played down in Melbourne. So, she really loves it, and she loves coming up to the Gold Coast as well. She tries to get up whenever she can, and Dad, he's a bit into it now. He really loves the Gold Coast, and he actually really wanted me to stay up there, which was a big reason why I did stay up there.
Yeah.
They really love footy, and they didn't really know too much about it growing up, but Dad, he's always watching it on the TV now, and he's kind of a bit into it and knows a lot about it now. So pretty good to watch and good to see.
It must be cool to have like their son is like one of the best players going in the comp. Like what the hell? Well, what I just kind of clocked then as well is that your brothers still go for Collingwood and stuff. They haven't jumped ship for
not yet. I don't think they ever will.
What the hell?
I reckon. Yeah, I don't reckon they will. So I said, when we win a premiership, I won't see you guys in the change room.
Yeah, I like that.
I got a little brother now. He's coming through. So hopefully he gets drafted this year.
I've heard about your brother. So can you tell us a bit more about him for those that don't know?
Yeah, he's I think he's about 195, so a bit shorter than me. But he's playing halfback and key back. So spoke to a fair few clubs now, and trying to tell Gold Coast to take him, but
I don't know. That. Yeah.
No, I'd probably almost rather verse him than play with him, I think, just because how competitive we were in the backyard growing up playing markers up and stuff. It was always fun to verse him. So
there you go.
I reckon that'd be almost cool and playing with him.
Yeah, but who does he go for? What's his team? He's a Collingwood guy. Well, you never know, right? Hey guys, just a quick pause in this episode to compliment our partners of the show. You guys know that I've been sponsored and supported by Dabble, the gambling agency, for a while now. This place has a special place in my heart because it is like the social network of gambling. You can follow superstars of the game, copy their bets. You might not know so much about a certain sport, but you can copy someone who does and increase your chances of winning some money. Obviously, if you're not a gambler, please only bet what you can and are willing to lose. Please dabble safely, gamble responsibly, as we always say. Just so you guys know, this year I've been taking over the streaming space at Dabble every Wednesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. Jake's Take is live. It is the wild, wild west of streaming. There's not too many sporting agencies or gambling agencies out there doing what we do. We put on a few bets throughout the show. We get some guests on. We have a lot of fun. It's all within the Dabble app. If you guys want to jump on board, the link is in the bio. Let's get back into the episode. What I love asking people when they go in the AFL, and we've been fortunate enough now to have so many great players come on like yourself, and particularly high draft picks where they have a bit of expectation on them. But the biggest kind of shock for you going into the system that maybe you didn't expect, that was sort of not a reality check as such, but like, oh shit, this is like a new level, or this I've got to get used to.
Yeah, I think for me, probably just the professionalism.
Yeah.
I remember I just kind of just stroll in a little bit and probably didn't get the most out of myself, and I'd see people, eating this and doing all this time in the ice bath and doing all this extra touch and extra craft before and after training, and that was probably the biggest shock to me, and probably something I'd really get used to, and probably made my days a little bit longer. But something I've just kind of ingrained in my daily routine now. So kind of get there a bit early, and whether you're doing a little bit of recovery pre-training, or me, I like to go out and do touch and stuff before training starts, and then do a little bit after. But probably the professionalism side of it, and even just stuff like simple as responding to text messages and stuff like that, which I probably was a little bit slack on at the start.
Yeah, dude, you're great. You were great on the hooking this up. Yeah. Like you had to. Don't worry, I've messaged half the league. I know, but people are still like what you're saying they were.
Yeah, so early on, I'd get a message from the physio, and I'd look at it, I'd go, I don't know, I want it. Or they might put you down for a massage or something, you don't really want it, so you might not reply. But I think, a lot of that stuff, I'm still working on a lot of it, and, never be someone like Gary Ablett, I don't think. And everyone has their own different ways and ways they go about it. So something I'm still working on, but that was probably the biggest shock for me, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I think also just catching, and I love watching you play. I actually told my old man, and this is funny, we're going to talk about a famous game in round 22 of this year, but I was like, man, the one person I wouldn't pick a fight with on the field is you, because one, I know the suburbs you're from, but two, I'm like, also, man, I've seen you like have like 3 or 4 guys manhandled at once on the field, which is just your height and stature, but also like what that told me is like how competitive you are, and you've mentioned it a few times when we spoke about Ant Edwards, and when you get those things that like the professionalism side. It kind of, when you're competitive, it helps you just adjust quicker because you just don't want anyone else to like get too far ahead or, not necessarily, even though they're your own teammates, like, well, if that's what they're doing to be better, like that's what I'm going to do,
Yeah, 100%. Probably not the strongest person, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't really like backing down to anyone. Like obviously, like I said before, growing up with older brothers, get bullied a little bit, so you got to stick up for yourself a little bit. So, and I really like that side of the game and just kind of brings a bit of flair to the game, and I feel like the fans love to see it as well,
absolutely,
which is good. So, but yeah.
Now there's a lot of there's a few things I know people at home are going to be waiting for me to bring up. I know you guys are waiting for the Essendon kick, and obviously to talk about the incredible deal that Mac has, which we're going to get into. But just the actual like Gold Coast, we touched on it with the Collingwood game, but it definitely feels like, especially with Rioli coming in, John Noble, Himmelberg as well. It feels like something special has been brewing up there anyway. Now you've got obviously Damien Hardwick, the quality of players that you have. Do you guys feel like you're, despite feeling maybe young, some of the core, it's like in a position where you guys have such a big future ahead of you that you guys can actually have some really strong success?
Yeah, 100%. Really keen to see what we can do next year. And obviously, we brought in those players that you mentioned and feel like they're going to be, really great additions to the team. But I feel like just the way we're, retaining players now. Whereas, obviously it's known a lot of players really, used to leave the Gold Coast. So I think, now we're, keeping players and, players really want to stay, and now you're seeing players want to come up. So I think that's a big step towards, where we want to go. And obviously Dimmer, he's, been a great addition. He's really been big on us just making sure we're taking our moments within our games. I feel like throughout the year there was a lot of times where we kind of backed down and didn't really take our moments or, play our moments. And, he's been really big on that. So I feel like once it all kind of clicks and, I think it's going to be, really scary. And, I think like the main thing for me, like I wouldn't stay if I didn't really think, we had a chance to compete and win premierships and,
absolutely,
play finals. So, I'm really looking forward to it. And, hopefully it's next year, and hopefully we win a lot of flags and in our time there, and see what happens though. But
maybe you'll go in the ocean if you win a flag or something. I actually, you know what? This is so random, but the local dog park I go to in Melbourne with my dog, Damien Hardwick used to go there all the time. And I used to have like just chat with him. Like I didn't want to chat with him because I'm like, he obviously doesn't want to chat to anyone. But sometimes he just open up just start having a chat about the dogs, and I was like, man, this guy's actually one of the nicest guys ever.
Yeah, he's a great.
It was like he was like 3 flags in at that point as well. Like I thought maybe just want his own space, but he's just chatting to me, having a little laugh, and then like, I'll see you later, mate. I was like, what a guy. Can you tell me about your relationship with him? Because I assume also like watching you play this year, the way he coaches you, he's helping get the best out of you from your standpoint, which is obviously another big reason why you want to play for him.
Yeah, he was one who kind of really ingrained the professionalism side of it, into me, and he was really tough for me, especially this year. Obviously this year because they're coming this year, but he's been really tough on me, and making sure I'm getting the best out of myself, and something he always says to me is how good you want to be is how hard you want to work. So that's something I really took in, and we had some tough chats early on, and I didn't play the first 3 or so games, and I kind of knew why, and he kind of thought there were players ahead of me, and at that point I kind of agreed, and he didn't really think I was working as hard as I could have, and I really used that as motivation. Kind of use it to flick a switch and in me, and kind of made me a little bit angry at the time. So kind of use it as a little bit of fuel, but no, he's been really great on me, and I could call him whenever and he'll pick up. And it's almost like a father figure, I guess. So,
Yeah, I bet.
No, he's been really good.
From that like flicker switch standpoint with Dimmer, like playing angry, like is that part of like you playing your best footy? Like with a bit of not like angry as in like you're going out to hurt people, but playing with that sort of competitive spirit of like, you know, everything's on the line.
When I go out there and, you know, I'm playing on the edge a little bit, that's when, you know, I played at my best. And, you know, whether it's trying to be physical or talking a bit of smack to someone, it kind of, because then I've got to, you know, kind of back it up a little bit. So it kind of, it kind of makes me, want to play a bit better and go a bit harder. So, yeah.
Is there any like great trash talkers in the Suns team or opposition that you've come? Because I've seen like the camera catches a bit of trash talk that you're involved, which I think so. I think I don't really understand sport without trash talk because like it's so part of the game. I think if people say it's not there, I'm like, bro, it is everywhere you go at a professional level, particularly in the AFL. But has there been any sort of good trash talkers that you've come across early in your career?
Maybe the Geelong boys. I don't know. If it was,
I've opened up a whole can of worms here.
I don't know if it was really good or if it was just because I was a bit rattled. But
I think they were the only ones that could have rattled you that easily as well, probably.
Them. The Carlton boys, they don't really talk trash, but they kind of just look at you knowing they got you a little bit.
Okay. The silent trash talk. Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah, like playing on Kerno, he wouldn't really say much, but every time a kid go, he'd just kind of like stare at you.
Yeah,
it's almost a bit worse.
Yeah, you've had some big matchups actually, just going because you've kind of become like the key back in a sense, and people were speaking about you this year. Like there was like probably you played like 2 or 3 incredible games, and people just instantly put you on this pedestal. It's like he's the best backman in the league, almost or of that nature. But you can swing both ways on the field and play so many different positions. Do you have like a preference? Do you enjoy playing both sides of the ball? Like,
I don't really know. I don't really have a preference. Feel like it's pretty fun when you kick goals up the side and stuff. But feel like I'm a bit more competitive when I play down back, and feel like I have a bit more of a task, you know, because you're trying to stop someone. I really love playing down back, and probably where I want to play next year. But always happy to help out anywhere, whether it's in the ruck or up forward. Kind of use it to my strengths, and feel like me being versatile really helps the team out. So yeah.
Yeah. Can we just go through some of the players in your team, like particularly that? I mean, I know you mentioned Noah Anderson before, but like, who in that team do you love running out with? Who do you class as the elite players, but also some of the unsung heroes as well up there that just every week to do a shift that makes, you know, Gold Coast better?
Yeah, I feel like guys like Benny Long and Nick Coleman, they do a lot of the dirty work, especially like when I'm playing up forward. You see some of the stuff they do just, you know, to give guys like me and Kingy a chance. You can't really take those like that for granted. And, guys like, you know, Noah and Rowley and Tukey, you just know what you're going to get out of them every week. So, but probably my favourite, probably playing with Sam Collins.
Oh, yeah, Sam Collins?
Yeah, he's been great for me, and just learning off him and Charlie Ballard, but just seeing Collar just every week just tear up his opponents, and just how competitive he is and how great of a leader he is, and when you run out with him, you know what you're going to get from him every week, and he's the ultimate competitor. He won the BNF this year, so
did he really?
Yeah, he really deserves it. So yeah.
Is he one of those guys that he's kind of you get a lot from just by watching him play versus him telling you kind of or coaching it, or is he kind of coaching you through certain situations and communicating with you a lot as well?
For me, he's always making sure I'm keeping my head in the game. Sometimes when when I'm chirping a bit too much or a bit of push and shove, he kind of grabs me to the side and just tells me to pull my head in and switch on a little bit. So I think just watching him play and watching what he does, I think we're different players, but seeing the way he goes about his craft and everything he does off the field to make sure it's performing on field, it's really just great to see and someone to really learn from. Yeah.
Well, a couple of things I want to go through. We also do have some fan questions at the end, guys. We've got a few more questions for Mac here, but I was looking at your contract before I came in. I was like, damn. And I don't want to talk too much about the numbers, but it is the biggest deal in like AFL history, which again, I just want to reinforce the fact of like how incredible that is for a person from southeastern suburbs of Melbourne with the family history that you have that we've spoken of. Like, I can't not be proud of you for that and for your family because of probably what they've gone through. But
Thank you.
For you, man, that must just be like a massive just honour to be able to have that, but also shows, like you said, the success you believe Gold Coast are going to have too, to commit for so long, and Damien Hardwick to be such a big part of that. Yeah,
no, it's pretty crazy. And yeah, like I said before, I really love my time up there, and just the lifestyle and the mates I've made, with the footy team, and just how close we are, and just how young the group is. Like, you can kind of go hang out with anyone from the first year players, the fifth, 6th year players. We're all in similar age brackets, so we can all relate to the same things, and everyone just gets along. But I think the main thing is, I feel like we're building something pretty scary up there, and something I really want to be a part of. And Damien talks about we could be the first to do something on the coast, and so it's something I really want to be a part of. And to be the first to win a premiership up there is nobody can ever take that away from you. So it's something I really want to be a part of, and it's something I'm really excited for.
When you get a contract like that with, let's just say it how it is, with so much money in it, how do you just like stay focused on what you want to do, and obviously enjoy the labour of what you've working for and what you've got, but also honour the fact, the investment of the club, and make sure that you get the best out of your own career? Because I feel like you as a competitor, you're not going to like sit on your feet with that. Like, I feel like you just naturally have to keep going after it.
Yeah, 100%. It's social media is a big thing these days. So the second you're not performing or whatever, they'll come straight after you. And but I think just for me, I've always been someone who's been hungry and really passionate in whatever it is I'm doing. So I feel like it just kind of adds a bit more fuel to my fire a little bit now. I want to go out there and be the best I can be, and just be the best player I can be for this team, and just really help us in getting that ultimate goal of winning a flag.
Yeah, well, I know if you love NBA, you'll love clutch moments and clutch players. And Mac Andrew, bro, he's got a bit of clutch about him, because round 22 this year, and I don't even go for Gold Coast, but it was a moment that had me jumping in my lounge room, because it was just like, literally just before that as well, before you took the mark and had the shot after the siren against Essendon, you had about 3 guys just like coming at you and chirping. It was this push and shove. And then the ball came in. I guess it's probably better to hear from you, but can you just talk us through, I guess, that moment, the emotion you were feeling before the kick, and I guess just like how you kind of settled everything to make what you did happen?
Yeah. I remember saying once again, like speaking on Sam Collins before, like how massive he was in that last, couple of minutes. And I don't know who it was, but he beat him in like 3 contests in a row. And I got a bit angry because he didn't really kick it long. And then, but that last contest, he just smacked it in. And I seen my player was kind of in front of me, so I just snuck around him a little bit. And I just kind of knew, one of us had to fly and make a contest. The 30-second board was up. So, I just kind of put my arms up, and the ball stuck. I was probably a bit shocked, but the ball stuck. And then, I looked straight up to the 30-second board, and I seen 30 seconds. So, I knew it was going to be, after the siren. I think there was a blood rule, so I kind of waited like an extra minute.
Did that feel like forever to you? Like, because at that point as well, everyone in the ground is just watching you.
Yeah.
Which happens in the game, but at that point, you really feel everyone's eyes, I imagine.
Yeah.
Let alone the TV stations and whatnot.
Yeah, I was like a little bit nervous, but it's probably just more so thinking of, how much my brothers would beg me if I'd miss it.
Really?
Yeah, like that was what was going through my head a little bit as well. So I was like, nah, I can't miss this.
Yeah, well, talk us through, the kick itself, because obviously you waited so long. So just in that wait, how did you kind of temper yourself to be cool and calm? Because you look kind of somewhat pretty relaxed.
Yeah, just kind of took a couple of deep breaths, and then, I don't know, everything just kind of went almost like quiet. Like I kind of just blocked everything out. I couldn't really hear anything. I think a few boys are trying to say, telling me to take my time and calm down, and I'm like, what do you reckon I'm going to do?
Yeah.
And then I remember I was walking in, I hear Stringer, he's like, oh, come on, Mac, you're a defender, you're not kicking this. So I said something like that.
That's not bad as well, damn.
And And I heard that and I was like, oh, shit. That was like the last thing I heard. And then, I've kicked it and it's just kind of bent that way a little bit. It looked like it's in the post.
Yeah.
Then gave him a big shush for, I was getting a bit of booze.
What a celebration it was, man.
It was pretty crazy. It was actually the one game my taller brothers didn't come to for the year.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I remember talking to them. I can't remember. I think they got held back at the footy club or whatever.
Right.
The local club. So they couldn't make it and then they were like, I wish we went. But
Bro, has that been a highlight of your career? I mean, you're definitely probably not allowed in Essendon anymore. I mean, I don't know. They love
it when I drive to the airport.
Yeah, you got to go through. But I think what I loved with that was one, the celebration, and then I don't know. Obviously, the away form was something that was kind of probably in question around the team as well, and it was like just a little nail in the coffin to that, saying, "Yeah, well, we can win wherever we want." And then I just remember seeing Dimmer's reaction after the game, running around the ground, you were getting interviewed. He's come over and hugged you and stuff. It's pretty cool.
No, it was a good experience, and I think we were 0-9 away or something like that, something crazy.
Yeah.
I think that was starting to weigh in a little bit on us. I think there were a lot of away games that we thought we should have won and deserved to win. So, I think that was the last away game we had, maybe, or second last away game. I don't know.
Round 22 probably was second last to last. Yeah.
Yeah. By that point we were just kind of sick of hearing it in the media and all that stuff. So, to get out and get the win away was. Yeah, it's pretty good, but I think a big thing for us, we just really want to have a winning season for the first time ever, and that was a really big step towards it. I think the most wins we ever had is 10. We had 11 this year, but we wanted to finish the season with at least a winning record. And Dimmer kind of said the best teams or the best franchises in the world always finish the season with a winning record. So we really wanted to finish with that. So I think that was a big step towards it, and then. I think just seeing the celebration, emotions, and of all the teammates and everyone was it's a pretty good feeling. And then seeing my best mate in the crowd as well, which is pretty cool. And my cousins and stuff were sitting on the fence as well, which is pretty cool. So to go straight to see them, it was pretty cool.
It's literally like the kid's dream in the playground. That type of moment. And you did it your 38th or 39th game, but it was such a big moment for the club because of, as you said, the 0-9 sort of form away from home. So, you kind of lived out a boyhood dream in that. In a way.
I didn't kick the goal in my career till this year, till probably five or so rounds before. No, the boys used to get it. They used to get into me.
Are you a goal kicker, though? Can you kick goals? And you just obviously haven't played forward much, or is it something that you're developing?
Yeah, probably take the most set shots of training, to be fair.
Do you really?
All the backs are doing their back craft and I'm up forward kicking set shots.
Yeah, we love that.
I'm always practicing them, but for it to come off, it was good.
We got a couple more. We got some quick fire ones from the fans and from myself. But just before we get into that, do you have any other interests or things that you do outside of footy to break it up? Because I imagine, despite living in the Gold Coast, maybe not getting crazy attention like some of the Melbourne clubs, still for you mentally, switching off from the game is probably as important as switching on.
Yeah. Probably not something that a lot of the other boys do. A lot of them do study and stuff, which probably isn't really me. So
not me.
Kind of get back home and just kind of sit on the PlayStation a little bit.
Oh, what are you game? Are you a gamer? I'm a big gamer.
Yeah, I like FIFA.
Oh yeah.
A bit of 2K. Waiting for the new COD to come out.
Damn, we're gonna have to play an online game of 2K or FIFA. Yeah, I'll run it up, bro. Yeah. I back myself FIFA. 2K. I love playing My Player.
Yeah, I used to really be big on Park, but then I just kind of stopped playing it for a few years. But then I got it again this year. I didn't really play last year's one, so
there you go. All right, let's get into some of these. I'll get into the fan ones, but these are just some ones that I like asking players when they come on. Quick fire. Hardest opponent that you've had so far?
Probably Kerno.
Kerno, really? All right. Favorite away ground?
Marvel.
There you go. Who's your favorite player in the competition to watch?
Probably Dacos.
That Nick?
Yeah.
Yeah, superstar. Were you in the same draft year as him?
Yeah.
Wow, what a draft class that was.
Yeah. It was pretty good. He's a good fella, so.
Do you have any pre-game rituals or meals as such? Anything that you stick to, or are you not into that?
Not really. Not really superstitious.
I think that's a good thing, good way to be, right? All right, guys, for all the people at home who sent us, as I was telling Mac before, we've never had more fan questions. I put up a post saying, what do you want to ask Mac Andrew today? And I could scroll for days, absolutely scroll for days. Some of them are just absolutely ridiculous, but some of them are quite funny. So we'll try get through some of the good ones, and obviously some that I've sort of answered. Let's go outside of Nick Dacos here, because 6701 _ Colton's gone fave AFL player. I guess you've said Selwood is the past one, but
Jeremy Cameron,
great player. This one obviously knows who you know, but is Nick Holman the GOAT from Fin 13?
Freck. Yeah, Freck's good. He's a good fella.
You kind of touched on this a little bit, but yeah, going through your mind, I guess it was someone, Josh Giles here has gone, what was going through your mind when you kicked that goal on the siren?
Yeah.
Your brothers.
Yeah, my brothers. Yeah. I know that, yeah, you know who my brothers are, you know that they wouldn't feel sorry for me. They'd start teasing me. So
Yeah. This is from Kaiso Byrne. Do you enjoy playing the ruck, or do you have a preference down forward and back?
Yeah, probably down back. Really enjoy playing down back. I feel like it brings the competitiveness out of me. So yeah, down back.
This one is from Mac Andrew is the GOAT. Well, this is more so, how are you so good? But I'll frame it differently. Is what did you do differently, you think, to be, good or elite at the game?
I think just my preparation and just making sure I'm watching a bit of film and the play I'm playing on, and how I can take their strengths away from them, and what I can do to exploit them, and then just the process, and just make sure I'm in the right mental space and headspace pre-game, and feel like if I go out there knowing when I go out there and play my best, nobody can stop me. So feel like when I go in with that mindset, and that's when I get the best out of myself.
Elliot Burt has said, do you have a favourite restaurant up on the GC? Or restaurants?
Maybe Etsu.
Nice
Japanese place.
Yeah, nice. Are you cooking for yourself yet?
No.
Yeah. Are there any sort of challenges that you've faced throughout your career that I guess have been quite difficult? I know, like from an injury standpoint, or changing positions, or as you said, conversations with Dimmer that have kind of flicked a switch in how you approach the game and how you prepare each week?
Yeah, or maybe in my start of my second year, I got done with drink driving, and that probably set me back a fair while, and just having to try to gain the trust and respect back of everyone within the club. I found that is probably the biggest challenge I've had so far in my career.
What a great honest answer, mate. This one's from Darwin. What would you be doing if you didn't make the AFL? The NBA, bro.
Yeah, hopefully. No, I don't know. Yeah, I have no clue.
This one's from Dylan Jenkinson. This might be a personal joke, but who was the best player at Berwick FC? Does that make any sense to you?
Yeah, I used to play down at Berwick. I used to play with Miller Bergman. He's in North Melbourne now. So
obviously Mac was probably the best player. I don't know if you want to do this one, but I think this could be funny. From Lockie Hollis, rank all your brothers at footy. Are you going to torch anyone?
At number one.
Yeah.
Probably Riak number 2, and then Deng number 3, and McQuaid number 4.
Yeah, there you go.
He's the oldest as well. So
there we go. Yeah. The final question that we ask all our guests is, we attest 3 key traits to success, people in sport or business, and you need all 3: resilience, drive, and ambition. But everyone kind of has one that's been more critical to their journey, or one that they focus more on. So out of those 3, resilience, drive, or ambition, which one for you is kind of like your cornerstone of how Mac Andrew goes about things?
Probably drive, and just trying to, every day just get 1% better, whether it's, you're getting a massage to make sure your body's right, or you're getting out and doing extra touch to make sure you're performing on the weekend. But probably just, having that drive, and then I think just being mentally prepared. I feel like if you're not in the right headspace, you're not really going to go out there and play your best footy. So I think just making sure you have a good balance, when you're not playing footy, you're really switched off from it. Really helps with that. So
yeah. Mate, for a 20-year-old kid, you are so well spoken, so elite at what you do, bro. Very impressive, man. Can't thank you more than enough for coming on. Mac Andrew, we haven't actually seen much of Mac in the media in regards to doing podcasts, so I was very humbled that you want to do this. But I hope you guys love this because that was pretty dope. Mac Andrew, everyone. Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast, but we'll see you next week.